Hariom guys, welcome to the first episode of the CIRS podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us, CIRS Alumni, Mr. Soham Desai, the strength and conditioning coach of the Indian cricket team. Hariom Bhaiya, nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me, and this is one of a kind. I never ever imagined that there will be a in-house podcast recording studio in CIRS. So very happy to be here, and looking forward to how this next hour goes.
So, Soham Bhaiya, obviously the first question will obviously have to be that 17 years after you left the place and after having achieved the dream you had in the corner of that hall, how does it feel finally coming back to CIRS as a chief guest of Khel Mela?
Honestly, it has not sunk in yet. So I don't know what to feel, to be honest. That whether it should be relief, satisfaction, joy, happiness. I just feel content and like at peace with the entire journey that I've had. And I don't know, like honestly, I'm yesterday I was thinking that I've done all of this, that is fine. I've been fortunate to be here, but what next? Because it looks like a clean blank road now, because whatever I dreamt as a kid here, 2-3 things have already been achieved.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking yesterday evening when I was walking back from the Hanuman temple back to the room. So yeah, contentment basically.
Yeah.
Is the feeling.
So, having achieved so much, of course, what was one thing CIRS which you carried with you throughout your journey? That this is CIRS and it was with you everywhere.
So it was not more about CIRS, but it was about what CIRS helped me become. So as I was just sharing off record with you guys, that I had to earn that right and that freedom to do what I love.
Yeah.
So that stuck with me. So wherever I went, I knew that first I will have to give, first I will have to earn that right and respect to do the things the way I want to do.
Correct.
I will not be able to go anywhere and just dictate terms and do things the way I feel are right. So that stuck with me.
Correct. So
like whether it is going to Coimbatore for extra practice, or whether it is sometimes sleeping in class, whether it is whatever, extra hours of sports time, but I'll have to first discipline myself to give whatever the school requires me to, and then ask for these things.
So anything earned has to come with its share of hard work.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I feel that's something which sports encapsulates very well. So I wanted to ask you that, of course, that sports is more than what you do in the sports field, right? So what is that something which sports gives every athlete, which is beyond the sports field, and you feel that is something about sports which is unique?
So let's talk about 3-4 things here. Let's talk about academics. In academics, it's a challenge. Yes, it's hard. You have to discipline yourself even there, but it's one dimensional. You are thinking about your planning, your books, your marks, your preparation, your exam.
Correct.
There are no other factors or distractions in your way where you have to cater to someone else's emotions or someone else's feeling or someone else's time, things like that.
Correct.
When you come to sports, you cannot go like that. You have to think about the weakest person, you have to think about the strongest player. Despite doing everything, you might lose because you did everything right but someone else did the mistake. But tomorrow you will have to extract work out of the same person, so you will not be able to scold him, you will not be able to blame him. So you will have to work a way around to deal with that, to deal with that setback, to deal with that loss. Then come back next day, motivate yourself.
Correct.
And inspire others around you to do well again. Again maybe fail. So the whole turmoil and the path of ups and downs that you start to handle from a young age, and you understand that much more about yourself.
Correct.
Because unless you go through the entire extremes of emotions, like biggest of achievements and biggest of failures,
Correct.
you will not know much about yourself, that how will you react in those situations. So that is why I don't advocate sports that you have to become a sports person, you have to play for India, you have to play for your district. It is not that. But that exposure of being a sports person, the whole process of sometimes when you're tired, mind over matter, mind over your body, that
Correct.
you are tired but mentally you can push through. So you realize that sometimes body gives up, but with mind you will be able to push through.
Yeah.
Things like that. You cannot learn it with books in hand and in classroom or in the office.
Correct.
You will have to go expose yourself to this situation, only then you will realize.
Experiential knowledge.
This will also help you become a good parent, because when your kids grow up and they will start to see and face these things, as a parent who has not been exposed to these things, they will be very cautious, careful, and not want to make their kids get exposed to these things because they have not experienced it.
Correct.
But the guy who has done all this in his growing up years, he will know that this is required. He will ensure that those exposures are given to the kids also. So eventually, if you see the larger picture, you are creating a robust and resilient society, community, and individuals. You are helping them grow up in a manner that they are going to stand up for themselves and take care of others around them. So it is about the deeper and grander things that comes with being a sports person. So that is what I want people to understand and look at. Not that you play inter-house, you win inter-house or whatever it is. Say for from standpoint of CIRS.
Yeah. So Bhaiya, of course, throughout your talks yesterday, one very, very strong aspect was that you kept on talking about the mindset and how it helps you push through every struggle in life and every obstacle. So what goes into forging a strong mindset in a sports person or any person for that matter?
So again, referring back to the last answer, if you have not exposed yourself to multiple situations, you will not know that what as an individual you can handle or you can withstand, or how deep a person you are or how strong a person you are. If you are only doing, say, like 9 to 5 job or like say A to B work and not thinking about going to E, F, S, Z and seeing what lies beyond what has been asked for out of you, you will never know what opportunities are or what potential you have or what options are in life. Say for example, you have been told that okay, from 4 to 5 you will go for sports, from 7:30 to 8 you will go for Aarti. There is one thing to go there at 7:30, get done by 8, but there is other thing to go and ask the Acharya, okay, what do you expect me to do in that half an hour? Then they will say, okay, go chant. What am I looking to gain when I chant? What is the best way to chant? What should I be focusing on when I chant? Those are the deeper questions. So I'm talking about venturing and getting into those details which help you then understand, okay, we are doing this for this reason, we are doing that for that reason. So then can I do this better? Can I do that better? So that's how you cultivate a mindset where you are not only doing things because you are asked, but you are doing things to see how it can help you get better, and then share those experiences with others and say, boss, this is also possible, that is also possible. Again, so basically exposing yourself to various situations without thinking about how bad you will look or how it can be beneficial to you or not, like that.
Correct.
Just basically being out there and seeing what it has for you.
Correct. So experiential knowledge is
More
the
important.
key to understand.
And then you match the experiential knowledge with the knowledge of the particular subject or the understanding of yourself, and then you blend in to become someone who has got a view on something from all the angles.
Correct.
Yeah.
So more rounded personality.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bhaiya, one thing, of course you love cricket, so I wanted to ask you this question, that cricket is a sport which is by far the most popular in our country, and every other kid on the street wants to be the next Virat Kohli, the next Rohit Sharma, but very few of them actually make it. What differs those people who make it from those who aren't able to? Like, they dream, yes, but very few actually fulfill that dream.
So yesterday when I was saying that we lack dreams, we lack in dreaming, this is what I wanted to say, that I'm going to ask this question to the teachers today, that how many of them actually dreamt of being in Chinmaya International Residential School as teachers and then they have arrived? Not many, or I think zero, because they have never dreamt. They have never. So from a teacher, I would dream that I would want to become a professor in Harvard. What is it that is required to get there? Then I walk that path. That is called dreaming. That is called working. That personality, when they come into a classroom, they will be very different. To a person who has accidentally become a teacher, who is thinking about 9 to 5 job, pay at the end of the month, or thinking about my kids' education. All these are not wrong things. They are important things and they are good. But the drive and the hunger or the dynamic personality which that guy who has a dream will have, these people won't have.
Correct. It's a passion for the work which matters.
So that is what it is even in us, like in students. That those guys with dreams and passions and goals, they will function very differently. So that is what I want the students in our school to understand, that I'm not talking about you getting to some place and you achieving this and you fulfilling that and saying that, oh, I've achieved it. No, it is walking that path which is more important. Because when you start off, you don't know what is your highest potential or what is your end limit or what is your end goal. You keep walking and then the roads start to open, obstacles start to come, you cross them and things like that. But it is important to have that higher dream, higher goal.
Correct.
And walk that path.
Correct.
So that's the thing.
What differs those kids on the street who make it from those who don't?
The kid who fails also, and say 5 out of 5, one guy becomes the next Virat Kohli. Okay, the 4 of them who fail, they have failed in pursuing the goal of becoming the next Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma or whatever it is. But if someone is there to educate them or make them understand from where they started and where they are, and they do any other thing, they will be far ahead than the others who have walked that path. So it's not wrong to pursue and aim to become someone, but obviously he should have the right knowledge and understanding that even if he fails, he's going to be far ahead of others who have not even aspired or dreamt of being that. And also, this is plus and minus both of India, the strength and weakness, that we are a cricket crazy country.
Correct.
But genuinely we don't understand cricket. We are actually we follow stardom, we follow the glamour and celebrity status of a cricketer. We don't per se follow cricket. So we don't follow the sport cricket. We just follow the things that come with becoming a Virat Kohli or a Rohit Sharma.
Correct.
So that understanding is also important.
So we only see the good side. We never see the
not
sleepless
the good
nights.
Side. It's not. That is one side that people nowadays appreciate also, that it's not easy to become a cricketer, and they appreciate the struggle and sacrifices and all that. But what I'm trying to say is, say you are saving a test match and you have to defend for 1.5 hours, and the players are defending to take out the test match and make it a draw. But the crowd will be shouting 6 maar, boundary maar, chakka maar, because they don't understand cricket. They don't understand what they are trying to do there.
Correct.
So that is the missing link. So it is people like us who have the luxury of being in comfortable households, better upbringing, better education, who have to understand these things and not be behind the stardom or behind the perks that come with that.
Okay.
So basically it's okay to not become Virat Kohli.
Correct.
But it's good to aspire to be Virat Kohli.
In the process of becoming Virat Kohli, you will become someone, and that is much greater.
That is much greater.
So you've not lost out on something, but you have gained a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bhaiya, that's another question which I had, was that aspiration is what drives people to become better, right? So what is the difference between a Ranji Trophy player and that player who made it to the IPL? Their aspirations would have been the same at the start, but where they're playing and how they're playing are two very different realms. So what sets them apart?
There is also a factor of destiny, luck, blessing, being at the right place at the right time, or getting that right score in front of right people.
Correct.
That plays a part. That plays a big part. I will not deny that. But the major differentiating factor is also the hunger and drive. Like what that person is willing to do to get to where he wants to get to. Whether it is looking bad at some place, asking silly questions, or accepting that he is not good enough and working on himself in terms of becoming a polished human being, more than cricketer, everything going. And like I said, I emailed around say 30-40 people and I got reply from only one, but it is okay.
Correct.
Like I had to do it, and I still have, and some of them are right now working under me, or alongside me, or they are asking me for jobs and they didn't reply. So I have those emails with me and I will never tell them that they did that.
Correct.
But it is for me that tomorrow, because today I am in the position where people ask me, I always say, if they ask me anything about strength and conditioning, you will get a reply. It can be late, but you will have a reply, because I struggled in getting those answers.
Correct.
So those things.
So you walked the road, so you
I know what it is. Yeah. I
You
know
understand what others
because
will go
in
through.
India, strength and conditioning is very niche still, and not many people have any ideas or clear roadmap as to how to go about doing things. So yeah.
So Bhaiya, that's one more thing you had said was about how you handle pressure and your main focus is on being calm, being in the moment. How do the world's best handle pressure? Like in the World Cup final, when the last 5 overs, they're going at a run a ball, but still handling that pressure and winning the game from that situation. What is that factor which helps them handle pressure, and how do they do it?
So I just did a video for Chinmaya Mission Global Channel about Bhagavad Gita. So it's actually the learnings and teachings and nuggets from that actually help people. They might not tag it as though it is coming from Bhagavad Gita, but it is eventually the knowledge shared to Arjuna before he entered war situation.
Okay.
So people say that, oh, spirituality, ye sab dekhenge yaar old age mein. But the thing is, the Bhagavad Gita was shared with someone who was entering war in his youth.
Yeah.
And to handle the pressures and the insecurities of that battle is where the knowledge was required. He didn't require it in his old age.
Correct.
So that is the missing understanding, that the knowledge is not to retire and to be secluded from the world. It's actually to be in the world.
Correct.
Run for your life, follow your passions, follow your drive, have aspirations, but do it in a way that you are evolving and growing and not succumbing to the journey. So to answer your question, it's just doing what is in your hands and doing your role right. Basically doing your dharma in that situation. So if you see Bumrah bowling that over, if he had thought about saving runs or not going for 10 runs, he would have missed the plot.
Right.
Because then he will be
Conservative
and a little bit under pressure to not make mistake. Rather, what he focused on was,
correct,
this is a question or this is a problem. What is the answer? What is a solution to that problem? So he said, okay, the solution is this player has this strength, this is his weakness, let me target his weakness, these are the balls I need to bowl. So he was very clear in what he needs to do. He went and did that, and that's how we were able to pull that off.
correct,
It's the same thing in any situation we have. Rather than thinking about saving ourselves or not looking bad or not failing, if we think about what am I supposed to do in this situation and what is the best answer to this question, just go about and execute that. The rest will take care of itself most often.
yeah,
Even then, as I said, there are always other layers and factors that play its part.
correct.
But it won't be because of you not being there in that moment and executing.
There are some things you can't control.
You can't control.
Okay.
And then the path of growth is to accept that. That is also part of learning and growing.
Correct. So, Bhaiya, from whatever you said, I can just remember one quote, and it is that Michael Jordan said this, is that work ethic eliminates fear. So it's a practice you put in when no one is looking, which determines what you do when all eyes are on you and when like the whole world is watching. People always think that it's okay to slack off. It's okay that you don't wake up early the next morning after you've had a late night. But sometimes people don't understand that it is that work you put in at 5:30 in the morning when you've studied late night, but you have to wake up. So what can you tell students like our age people who are constantly thinking of slacking off and are thinking of finding the easy route out, that it is not that way and you have to put in the work? That's the only way to success.
So the answer is very clear in this, that what do you want in your life? It depends on that. Some people are very content. They're happy to live on their dad's or parents' money. They just want to be happy, peaceful and enjoy life, which is a great place to be. If you are very clear from young age that this is what you want to do, please don't take stress and live that life and be happy because you are very clear in what you want. Then don't look at the other guy who is running on the path of excellence and chasing his dreams and all that and feel that should I need to do that, that means you are not clear. And the guy who is looking to walk that path of excellence, he should not also look at others and say that, hey, kya yaar, I am working hard, I am struggling, and see that guy is feeding off his dad's money. Boss, that is not your problem.
Correct.
It is his decision and he is happy doing that. Why do you have a problem? That means you are jealous of his comforts, of his happiness, of his peace, and of his decision, that you are not able to digest the fact that he is having a happy, peaceful, comfortable life and you are having to struggle.
Correct.
At the end of the day, it is your decision, your journey, and what do you want to do with your life.
It's walking your own path.
Yeah, exactly. And if 5 o'clock, not every day you have to wake up and go at 5 o'clock. For example, not every day you have to be at it. There are days when you feel off. Listen to your body. Give yourself some slack. No problem. But it should be a conscious decision and call. It should not be laziness.
Correct.
It should be a call you made that, okay, today I'm going to just take it easy. Because I've done enough and I feel my body needs rest and I have to give some love to myself. And okay, I'll go easy. But that's a conscious call.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's learning and adapting throughout the journey.
Yeah.
So, of course, throughout your journey of getting wherever you get in life, you learn a lot of things. And I remember you were telling us yesterday that, of course, the things you learned along the journey were more influential in your decisions in daily life than what you actually learned or you practiced, like your strength and conditioning. So it's how you are as a person. So what helped you develop those qualities as a person, which then helped you make that impact on players at the global stage?
So I always operate in this fashion, that if I entered this school and no one knew what I did, will I get the same respect? When I am not wearing the India shirt, will I get the same respect? When they know only Soham, they don't know his lead strength and conditioning coach of Indian team, will I get the same respect? That will only happen when they know me as person, when I have those qualities as human being to earn that respect. As simple as that. So my challenge or my goal has always been that to myself. That people, it's okay for people to respect me for the tag I have. But tomorrow I may not have the tag.
Correct.
Or I am sure I will not have the tag one fine day, right? I will not be here forever.
Correct.
What will happen on that day? So I should be that person who commands that respect and who has the respect of the room as a human being. So those qualities are very dear to me and those qualities are more important to me. So that is the battle, or that is the drive I have to inculcate and develop those qualities. I am happy to make mistakes as a coach at times.
Correct.
But I will be very disappointed with myself if I am slacking or falling behind on the human qualities which a person should have.
Speaking about the journey, do you think you could have ended up somewhere differently had you taken a decision which was different, or somewhere like some path which you chose not to take which got you here, or you could have ended somewhere else if you had?
I think whichever way I would have taken, I would have ended up here, because that is how life is. It can be late or early, but whatever has to happen will end up happening. Sometimes we get engrossed and occupied with our own selves and our own issues. So we take a detour and we go here and there and all. But sooner or later,
you will get where you're supposed to be.
You will get where you're supposed to be.
That's a very profound sense, and it's a very powerful thought to have driving your daily actions. So, Bhaiya, what is one thought which you can tell those people who are confused at where they are and who are confused about what the future holds for them? Like, what could you tell them? Like, people our age are always saying that I'm confused about what I want to do in my life. What is one thought you can give them that will be like this? You are fine.
It's okay to be confused. First, accept that it is absolutely normal and absolutely fine to be confused and lost. Which is not a wrong place to be in, or which is not people say we should never be confused or always be clear like that. So it's not a situation where you should be disappointed with yourself per se. It is absolutely fine, and accept it, because once you accept it, you will know that you are confused.
Correct.
You will acknowledge the fact that you are confused. Only then you will try to slowly start to figure out a way out of that situation. And then ask yourself simple questions that, why are you confused? Is it because you want to do too many things? or is it because you want to not miss out on anything, or is it because you are not able to figure out what you want to do? You first figure that out.
Correct.
That why you are confused. Then you ask yourself simple two things which I have asked myself, that as I told you on the way to this place, that if I am not getting paid, if I am not having recognition, if I am not getting the fame, and this is the last day of my life, what is it, that one thing that I want to do?
It is.
That is something which you love to do, and that is which you will do regardless of
Correct.
the benefits. So try and work something out as your career around that. That is one way to be happy and rule out lot of confusions.
Yeah.
And second thing is that sometimes you have to pick one wrong out of the two wrongs, like which is lesser wrong. Maybe you have to pick one wrong answer. Pick that wrong answer and get on with it. Eventually there will be a crossroad where you will be able to change that wrong path and make it and cross over to the right path, and then that will be your path. But it is always better to go on the wrong path than not go at all.
Correct.
So even in confusion, just pick a road and start walking. That is what I would say. And be okay with being confused. Yeah.
Of course, that people get confused, and it's fine being confused, but the most deterrent situation which one can do is not act. And it's always that you have to act. So of course, Bhaiya, that now you're back in CIRS, there are some things which would have changed, right? What according to you has changed the most since you last came to the school?
Like there used to be some enthusiasm and energy around day-to-day life of being in CIRS.
Correct.
Like it can be evening inter-house games, or it can be some Euro or something going on in the news, or it can be some festival around the corner, or it can be Khel Mela around the corner, Anand Utsav, whatever it is. So there used to be some energy and enthusiasm going on, like underlying current,
Correct.
you can say, going on. So that seems to be subdued. It's still there, but it's not as vibrant here.
Okay. So Bhaiya, the question is that everyone at CIRS always talks about that you have to strike a balance. You have to balance sports, studies, extracurriculars, this, that. How did you strike your balance? Like, what would you say was your balance?
This is something I don't believe in, balance part. You can never be balanced in your life. And if you are balanced, you are not living, or you are not actually excelling. Because how can someone be balanced and do everything to the same amount or same degree when you are as a human driven or drawn towards one particular aspect in your life? You cannot be, right? So it's always to do what you love and to do what you want. You have to bring up the other factors so that, as I said, you have the freedom to do what you have, what you want to do. So that's the thing I would say, that is what I believed and excelled, and that is what I tried to do. So balance is something, it's only
Overrated.
in the books. Yeah.
So Bhaiya, of course, having contributed to the country, winning the World Cup, what is your vision for our country? Like India as a country, where do you think we're going?
Well, I am not that big enough or that wise enough to have a vision for the country, but vision for the school and vision for our mission or our group or our people should be to do things like I shared with you, like to do things for the right reasons, to do things with that energy, dynamic approach and personality, rather than just going about ticking boxes during the day. So one thing which I would say, also answering your previous question about CIRS, was earlier we used to have our dreams, we used to have our aspirations, we used to have our goals, and we used to reach out to teachers, acharyas, to help us get to those dreams and aspirations and all
Correct.
that. Nowadays what I see, teachers and parents are telling you, this is your dream, this is how you get there, and then you are going there. So basically students are not having to use their own minds to dig deep and think about themselves or think about their paths. So that is...
Students have stopped dreaming.
Students have stopped thinking, I would say. Forget about dreaming, yeah. That is also not because of only CIRS or only
Yeah, of course.
the teachers.
It's how the world is moving.
It's also the parents. It's also the collective generational shift that has happened.
Correct.
Yeah.
Lockdown and
So you cannot...
big paradigm shift which has taken
blame
place in
CIRS for
mindsets.
that. But I'm sure CIRS can play its part in resetting that. Yeah. Not going back. Maybe the times when I studied was also not to its highest potential.
Correct.
It has some scope to get to further evolved state, right? So you never know. So it's about reconfiguring that, calibrating that compass and having a new direction to walk in. And after 5 years, who knows, that is also a wrong direction, and then you recalibrate again. But that is how life works, right?
It's about introspection and reflection every now and again. So what part has reflection and like introspection played in your journey moving forward?
Well, a lot. Like without that, I wouldn't be... So as I said, I focus on the alignment part. I don't focus on what should be the next step. Okay, I am here, so to get there I go. No, I don't work like that. For me, it's important to be aligned with my dharma, as I said, my role, my duties, my path, my goals, my purpose, and then the next answer will come.
Correct.
So when I walk on that path, I will see the signboard, or I'll see the situation which will show me that okay, this is the next logical step for you, and then I take that step, and again be aligned and wait for the next cue. So basically for me, that is the whole thing, that I focus on being that person and being that aligned in my journey, and then trust the flow, that where I have to be, when I have to be, and whatever has to be will come to me like that.
Correct. So it's about faith in the journey.
Like,
it'll happen.
Yeah.
What is something that you learnt from your experience till date which you wished you had learnt earlier?
To only talk about that person when he is present in the room, not talk behind his back, especially the negative side of things. So basically share opinion about someone in his presence, or not share at all. Don't share behind his back. I'm talking about only the opinions which we have about him not being up to mark. Good things you can say behind his back, wherever you want, whatever you want. But some opinions, when you have to share, it is wise or it is best to share in their presence. So that is something which has actually been the biggest revelation, because that changes a lot of things in your life as a person. It shows a lot about who you are. It shows a lot about what character you are made of. So, and it is not easy to do that.
So it defines your interactions with people. And so what is one driving philosophy you have which like takes you from day to day in...
Don't get in the way of life. That is my philosophy in life. Seriously. Like we have, because people ask me what is your goal, I said I am not, whatever goal I have for myself, I will still be underestimating myself, because I actually don't know what I am capable of doing. So that is, I truly believe in that. We sell ourselves short every time. So for me, for everyone, it will be Indian team, that's pinnacle. But who knows, I am maybe made for something higher or something better. You never know.
Correct.
So that's why I trust in that journey, that this is just a stepping stone and a station. This is not the destination. And I should continue to look at what is the next signboard or cue. So basically,
always be on the lookout.
Yeah, so don't get in the way of life. Trust the flow and just be like, enjoy the journey. That's the thing.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for that conversation. It was very enlightening. It was fun to have a conversation with you, because you've gone through everything like all of us face.
Thank you, bro. So the thing is that I don't see anyone else in this seat who has been in CIRS as a student, as a volunteer for a year, as an alumni of 15 years past leaving CIRS, and coming back to CIRS as a chief guest. So I think I have a very distinct view about CIRS, and I see things from various angles.
Yes.
So all those conversations all those conversations we have had off record and all the things that we have chatted on record are all from those various standpoints. So I hope that it connects and resonates with everyone who hears it.